All right, everybody, today we're going over my top 3 landscaping business tips for 2024. These are from the things that I have learned over time and the things that we've put into action in our company. And really just what I have realized has made some of the biggest difference for me personally and the company in my experience. And my whole goal here is to just bring the ideas, the value, the thoughts, the nuggets, the contents that are gonna make a difference for you so you can have access to that even quicker. I spend so much money to go to conferences and to learn and do all these things, and that's all great, and that was awesome, and I think everybody should do this. But I just wish there was even more resources out there to get some of the information that I wanted to get, or give me some of the mindset information that, man, I wish I could have got when I first started off. I found it and I got it anyway, but anything that you can pick up even faster to expedite your growth from here to here is massive. So we're gonna bring that today with these 3 landscape business tips. Let's get right into it. Number 1, you gotta get out of your own way. So many times I hear business owners saying how I'm the only one that can do this. If you don't do it yourself, it won't get done right. It's the only way you can know it's gonna get done right. Excuse after excuse after excuse. We put what we do on such a high pedestal like no one else can replicate it. And the truth of the matter is a lot of times we're actually really not the best at most of the stuff we do. We just frantically do it out of necessity and deem that like we got through it as we're some kind of miracle worker, and we're not. So often we are in our own way. We're in our own way just off of what's going on in our head of what we think is actually capable. Like maybe we have this wish or desire to have a bigger company someday, but we're stuck in thinking that that's impossible. We're stuck in this limiting belief. Our goals are very, very tiny if we look at them compared to what they could be, maybe. And so often we're either self-limiting through thinking others can't do stuff, self-limiting through thinking we're not capable, or it's not, that opportunity's not even there. So many times we just need to get out of our own way, put people in positions, hire people, not be afraid of hiring people. Know that you got into business. It's a challenge. Suck it up, buttercup. Like, there is going to be hard parts of this. If it was easy, everyone would do it. This is not a 9-to-5. This is starting a business. So we've got to get out of our own way. We've got to push ourselves out of our comfort zone, because that hiring those people, those putting people in roles where they can help you grow and help you manage a bigger growing organization, the trusting, the getting out of this own head trash you have is really uncomfortable. You got to do it though. You got to put yourself outside of that comfort zone. You got to get out of your own way so you can make some progress. So rule number 1, get out of your own way. And the list of ways you can be in your own way is endless. And I can't go over that. So I'm just giving you just a few to get started. Number 2, this is huge. Focus on your team. Focus on your team and how you can create a win-win, a way for everybody to be successful together. This is really going to be based on aligning what are the company's goals and what are the team individual members' goals, so we can all see how, hey, if we hit these company goals, you're going to hit your goals, and now we're aligned. And so often we have our mission on the wall, and it does talk about how we're going to create this exceptional experience for our clients, through just a different service experience in general. But on the bottom of that, the part that is really the meat and potatoes for me is we're going to give employees an opportunity to grow without limits. My whole philosophy with business has been try to create the best workplace. Now, do we always get it right? No. Don't feel like you're going to get it perfect. I don't get it perfect. We're just trying. All you can do is give it your all and try to be the best and try to put the best foot forward and do the things you say you're going to do. People are going to understand that you're going to drop the ball. But focus on your team. Make it about them, where a lot of people will make it all about the clients. If you focus on your team and you try to make it the best possible place for them, this magical thing happens that all of a sudden they can start focusing on taking care of the clients. Because if you grow a company, you're not the person taking care of the clients. It's your team that's taking care of the clients. And that's why if you focus on them, they will focus on your customers, and that will help you grow the company that you're wanting to grow, because you can't do it all alone. When I say focus on team, you got to focus on the team, because if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with a team, go together, go with multiple people. And that's what you're doing in a business. You're doing it together, because it's not a I did all this, it's a we did all this. I can't even hardly shoot a video without saying we for most of the things, because I don't feel like I'm personally responsible for much at all. I know that I'm willing to show up every day and try really, really hard, but without really awesome people around me, without awesome team members, without people that I'm trying to figure out how to get paid more and move up and build the company and all these other things, I couldn't do it because I'm just one person. And one person can go really fast, but a lot of times they can't go really far. And finally, the third piece for this business advice, this is going to pertain to every company, but today we're talking landscaping business tips and really the structure and the guts of your company. Point number 3 is focus on the culture. So we talked about just focusing on the team and like creating positions and betterment for them, but beyond that, focusing on culture, creating and fostering a culture of accountability, values, focus on the mission, all of these things, building this place. One of the coolest pieces of feedback that I knew we were getting culture right is when team members started to say, the one thing that's different about here is that like when I come to work in the morning, I'm not dreading it. I'm kind of excited to get to work. And that wasn't something they had felt at another company. So it's different. We're creating a different culture, a different feel. And culture, they always say is, well, I always say, and it's not my saying, so somebody always says it, culture is really just the long version for cult. Cult is short for culture, because you're going to have like a cult-like following. You're going to have a really tight-knit group of people. You're going to have a lot of people doing different stuff where people are going to question what it is you're going to, why does that place act that way? And that's why, like, it's kind of more of a funny joke. It's not a cult, but it is short for culture because people are going to be outside of the box, and the best way to get everybody killing it is to be aligned. And alignment is this vision to some people of everybody's drinking the Kool-Aid. So creating this culture is super important. And when I say accountability, that means when someone's doing something wrong, we tell them they're doing wrong so they can get better. When someone's doing something right, we tell them, hey dude, hey ma'am, hey sir, whatever, you killed it. That's awesome. We manage based off values. So we talk about family, we talk about teamwork, we talk about urgency, we talk about quality, we talk about all of these different values we have in our company, and we manage based off of those things. We make our decisions based off of those things. We talk about them in the morning meeting, meaning if we talk and we go over things in the morning huddle or meeting, as you say, we pick someone at the end to say, hey, how did you live out the value of teamwork yesterday? Then after that, they read the mission. We put focus on these things. If someone's needing to make a management or hiring decision, well, did they adhere to all the values? Well, no. The quality, like a lot of this went against quality in their interview and whatever, and we hire and fire based off of those values. Internally, team members, like if you're making a decision on the job, you can compare it to all the values, and if it doesn't align with something, then we need to shift. We need to shift that decision. We need to make that decision according to value. So we make this culture where it is accountability focused, value focused, mission focused. And here again, it's not always perfect. We are not the best. We are always just trying to get better day in and day out every year. These are the things that are going to grow your company. Getting out of your own way, focusing on your team, focusing on your culture. Now, maybe this isn't focusing on your culture and your team is a lot harder and doesn't seem as relevant when it's very small, and I get that. But very soon as it becomes 5, 6, 8, 10, 20 people, it becomes exponentially more important. And if you start in the beginning about caring about your team members, caring about their goals, thinking about it more than just I, because this thing is I am irrelevant. This team is relevant. It is powerful. It is awesome when it's together. And if you start this when you first get going, you can probably bypass a lot of the bullshit you see on every Facebook group where people cry about employees and cry about all these things. I get it. All that stuff's challenges. But how about you cry about something you can control? And culture of accountability would say, hey, person in the video watching this, if you whine about employees and they were yours, all of your employees have one thing in common. You hired them. So ultimately this falls back on us. I hired the person. They aren't doing what they're supposed to do. I hired the wrong person, maybe. I didn't give them the right tools, the right training, the right opportunity. I have to take accountability for that. That is a part of an accountability culture. That is, no one is special. We all have the exact same. Who else is going to be accountable if you don't live by that same level of accountability, right? And all of this stuff might seem big and big thoughts and highfalutin, but so many people focus on whining and bitching about things that don't matter to grow their company, when if they could focus on this team and these 3 things we've went over, they would be able to scale and exponentially grow their company because everybody would be rowing in the same direction, working on how do we find new jobs? How do we do this? How do we win more? So often we get in our own way. focus on the small things. So share this video with somebody that this would help like this. Comment below if you find yourself in your own way often. I get it, everybody does. We just need to actively look at what we're doing and be like, that's where I should have just moved. We've got to test and measure and learn from what we've done in the past, right? The past is a great predictor of the future, but we can look at the past and see how we can make our future better. And yeah, share this with somebody else that could use this to hopefully save themselves some time. Have a great wrap to your 2024. We don't have much more time. It's crazy that we're already over halfway through the year. So I want to give you this stuff now so you can end it with a bang.